Peace and blessings.
Grounding myself currently in the snow with my wand. Wishing for, my manifestations, things of that nature, to connect more with the earth and the truth of the world and the truth of where we're from.
First, you have to recognize you are all signs. You are all astrological signs. But dealing with the earth element, people with natural affinity to this element is, of course, the earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But truly, you are all signs. It just depends on the time and the space and who you're around and what you're currently portraying and what energy you're currently giving off, what kind of light's coming from you. When I'm by myself in a new area, I'm an Aries. When I'm interacting with my mom, I'm more of a Taurus. When I'm interacting with my grandmother, I'm more of a Gemini. When I'm dealing with like the Grim Reaper and darker energies, I'm more of a Leo. When I'm alone, when I'm thinking to myself, I'm talking to God, things like that, I'm more of a Virgo. When I'm speaking with my guardian angels and things like that, the spirits I'm working with, I'm more of a Libra. When I'm interacting more with my partner, I'm more of a Scorpio. I'm naturally a Capricorn, so I'm always a Capricorn, mostly like when I'm in the workplace, when I'm doing work, when I'm out in public, I might be at a party, at a bar or something, I'm more of a Sagittarius. Sometimes when I'm out in public, I'm more of an Aquarius. It just depends on the circumstance, right? If I'm at a party, at a bar or something, I'm more of a Sagittarius. I'm at like a beach or a library or a coffee shop or something like that, I'm more of an Aquarius. And when I'm painting, when I'm making music, things like that, I'm more of a Pisces. So you're really all signs. You just have to realize how you interact and who you're interacting with, and your own energy can change. I don't speak to my mom the same way I speak to my girlfriend, the same way I speak to my dog, the same way I speak to God, the same way I speak to my guardian angel, and my energy is all different during all these scenarios, at morning, at night, at work, when I'm having fun, when I'm watching a game, when I'm playing games, everything is different. We all have these energies inside of us. It just depends what you are currently interacting with and what you're currently portraying. But interacting with the earth element and becoming more in tune with the earth element really has to do with taking your time to do things. Earth takes a long time to manifest things, and that can be a good thing, that can be a positive thing. If you're manifesting consequences, it's a good thing for that to take a long amount of time, generally speaking, right? But a lot of times we want things immediately. We like microwaving things, but it's not good to have a microwave life. It's not natural to have a microwave life. A lot of these greater manifestations take years. That's the point of aging, maturing, growing up. And that's a lot of earth-like qualities, just taking time. Also nurturing, you plant a seed in the ground, you can't just leave it alone. A lot of times, depending on what you're growing, some things are very easy to grow. You can just plant it and leave it. Some things you have to nurture, you have to weed, you have to water, right? You might have to move it to a different pot. You might have to put it in a greenhouse. Some things are very hard to grow. Some things are very easy to grow. But growing, that energy of growing in general, is an earth-like energy. So if you're trying to grow something, you're trying to grow your business, you're trying to grow your relationship, you can focus more on the earth element. I'm going to make videos on all these elements, or it's probably impossible to make videos on all the elements, but I'm going to make videos on a lot of the mainstream elements, the elements most people know. You could go 3 years being an embodiment of the earth. Then for 2 years, you could be an embodiment of the air element. Then next year, you might be an embodiment of the fire element, and that's not dependent on your zodiac sign. That's just dependent on your true nature, your soul, your spirit. Your soul and your spirit goes past the elements. Your soul and your spirit goes past zodiac signs. That's your closest connection with God. God created astrology. God created the signs. God created the elements. The elements do not define him. The elements do not define you, but it is a very strong energy. Truly, these energies can overpower you, or you can overpower them. You can kneel to these elements, or these elements can kneel to you. You know what I mean? There's certain spirits in different mythologies, different religions, who are in complete control of these elements, right? And you can become that strong, Some of you are already that strong. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You can grow things without watering them. Once you get into that higher magic realm, But I'm just speaking on a more basic term in this video. I'm not sure how deep I'm going to go into it, honestly. I'm kind of freestyling this. But the earth also has to do with being like sturdy, being structured, being strict. A lot of us are not strict enough in what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, and what we want other people to see from us. You know, you have to be more strict in your life, especially when you're trying to become an embodiment of the earth element, or you're trying to just unlock more of your earth-like energies. Maybe you are a Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus, and you just want to know more about yourself. You know, I never know who's watching this video. I never know if it's a beginner or professional or what, you know, but we can become more strict. You know, strict is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just saying no matter what the circumstance is, you know, no matter what time it is, no matter what day it is, this is going to happen. This is going to get done. You know, this is going to get manifested. That's ultimately what it is. This is going to get manifested when I want it to. And that has to do with the earth energy. It's the when. You know, a lot of people try to manifest things, but it's like when. You know, you could say now, you could say 6 months from now, you could say a year from now, you could say 4 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You get what I mean? But just have that sturdiness, have that strict nature to you, and you'll be able to manifest things more, especially dealing with the earth element, especially during, you know, that time of year when the earth energy is very strong. Maybe you just feel the earth energy very strong in your life currently. You know, you're not, just as a Capricorn, I'm telling you, you're probably not being strict enough, you know, or you're probably not being nurturing enough. You know, a lot of times we neglect nurturing ourselves. You have to nurture yourself as well. That's just something I noticed in my own life, you know, in my past, especially just being an earth sign naturally. I would nurture other things that was not me. And I would not get the fruit from those things. You know, you can only get fruit from the things that you plant, right? Metaphysically speaking, you know, I was planting things for other people. I was nurturing other people and other things, other jobs, things like that. And I was letting other people reap the fruit. You know, you reap what you sow. And that's very important. That has to do a lot with the earth energy. You don't want to sow things in other people's garden. You don't want to sow things for other people. You don't want to sow things that you can't reap. Because all you'll be able to reap is that experience and that knowledge now. Right? But we want to reap physical things. Just dealing with the earth element, you know. We want to reap physical rewards, you know. Truly, you know what I mean? I don't care so much about reaping knowledge, wisdom, things like that. It's cool, and that's where I've gone. But if I could just wake up and just reap $1 trillion, I would do it, you know. But now I have to get the knowledge. I have to spend the time doing that. And maybe I might not even be able to do that, but I can plant the seeds for future generations to do that. You get what I mean? A lot of times dealing with the earth element, things will take years and generations even. So you have to think outside of yourself. When you are working with the earth element, you have to think about your seed, you get what I mean? Your offspring, your family, your generations that you can produce. You know, you can sow for them and let them reap from your time. You know, you can sacrifice yourself really for the future. And that's a positive thing. That's a positive way to look at it, you know. Maybe I'm not going to manifest perfectly everything I want, but I can set up my kids so they can manifest what they want. I can set up, you know, my partner, they can manifest what they want. I can set up, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Make everyone's life around you easier. Everyone wants to be a millionaire and things like that. But it's okay if you don't make it that far, but you set up your kids so they can make it that far. You set it up so, you know, your seed has it easier than you. You set it up where they have bigger fruits than you do. That has to do with the earth element. And even, it doesn't even have to be your kids necessarily. It could just be you in the future, right? So you sacrifice your 5 years, maybe you're going to school or something. You sacrifice 2 years, 4 years, 8 years. But in 8 years, you know, you'll be able to reap a much bigger reward. You'll be able to reap much better fruit in 8 years, right? In 4 years, in 2 years, in 1 year, whatever it is, in 6 months, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to manifest, right? So you can set yourself up, say, okay, I want to eat fruit today, but I have to plant today, I have to seed today, I have to stay grounded today, and I'll be able to eat at the end of the season. You know, it's a seasonal thing, and it's dealing with the earth element is knowing how to go season by season and get what you need, get what you want season by season, you know, day by day, month by month, year by year. And you have to think long term. Dealing with the earth element, it's a lot of long term energy. Trees take years to grow. A lot of fruits take half a year to grow. A lot of vegetables take months to grow. You get what I mean? It's not a instant thing. Just naturally speaking, it's not an instant thing. This energy isn't about instant gratification, but it's about knowing that you will reap what you sow. What you put out will come back to you. A lot of times tenfold. You get what I mean? A lot of times 100-fold, depending on what you're doing. So it's about, being smart and taking the steps to get ahead in the future, not necessarily today. That has a lot to do with the earth energy. You can nurture yourself. You can say, okay, I'm not going to do this today, but tomorrow I'll be able to do twice as much. Or, okay, I have to do this week, but next week I'll be able to do 3 times as much, things like that. And metaphysically, that's like planting a seed. Metaphysically, that's like sowing. If you are trying to unlock your earth element more too, it has a lot to do with travel, because different parts of the earth has different energy, different laws, different people, different customs, different food, you get what I mean, different nature, different mountains, things like that. It's just all different depending on where you're actually standing in the earth. So it's important to stand in other places, go visit those other countries, go to that part of town you haven't been to, go to just, experience new things. The earth element has a lot to do with new things. There's always new creatures, new animals and insects being found, new birds being found. It's always like new tombs, new burial sites being found, new fossils being found. Even though it's old stuff, it will be new to us. That's a lot of earth energy. You could be doing something for years and you're like an OG in it, but to a stranger, that's like brand new to them. That's something they never heard before, they never seen before, they didn't even know existed. Like popped out of thin air, popped out the blue. That has to do a lot with earth energy. A lot of behind the scenes things, a lot of things people don't see, right? You look at the earth, you look down, it's kind of like 2D, it's flat. You don't really know what's going on under the earth, under the surface level. So a lot of earth signs and being with that earth energy, you're going to be working with the deepest parts of you, very, very deep parts of you, and very stiff parts of you that can't really change, parts of you that are grounded in you, that grounded part of you that can't really change. No matter how hard these evil forces try, they can't really destroy the earth, because they also need somewhere to stand on. They could try to pollute the water, pollute the air, right, cause fires, things like that, but the earth is so stiff, so hard. You get what I mean? We have to dig a lot, and it's heavy. It's a heavy element. So dealing with the earth element, you'll learn how to make heavy things lighter. You'll be able to be more like mud and like sand. The earth element has a lot to do with building, foundations. So you want to make sure you have a good foundation. That has to do with like sacrifice as well. You want to spend the time making sure your foundation is straight before you build a building. It could be the most beautiful building in the world, but because the foundation is weak, because the materials are weak, it could get blown over by the wind. It could be easily damaged. It could disappear, right? It's not something that will last forever. The earth element has a lot to do with trying to stay alive as long as you can, but that goes outside of just you, just making things that last as long as they can. That could go into architecture, buildings, art, even just ideas. You want to make these ideas that last as long as they can, right? Certain books, things like that, like writing, everything physical. Earth controls the physical realm. Things aren't translucent. You can't see through things, like physically speaking. Things are solid. Things are packed full of matter. Things are packed full of energy. So the earth element has a lot of energy, a lot of energy you can tap into, a lot of energy that will stay with you for years. This is an energy you really only want to work with if you're planning out years ahead, years into the future. You can plan out not even just your own life. Like I said, you can plan out your kids' life with this earth element. You could plan out your great-grandkids' life with this earth element. Don't go for like the easy, quick wins, the 100-yard dashes. You get what I'm saying? This is like the mile, the marathons. This is that type of energy. You have to train for years. This is that type of energy. But also you can reap the rewards for years. So I hope this energy balances you. Earth has a lot to do with secrets too, and also just like change. The earth looks completely different than what it did 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, right? just from like the lumber industry and like all the architecture we're building, things like that. You know, there are like 1,000-year-old trees and things of that nature, right? That most people probably don't even know is like real now. It's kind of crazy, but like the redwoods and things like that, right? Like giant trees, which is just dealing with the earth element. You know, but nowadays it's like 50-year-old trees, maybe 100-year-old trees, if that. You know, there's like massive forests, things like that. Now everyone lives in like cities. Mostly everyone lives in like cities and things like that. So it has to do with change. You know, we can change our environment dealing with this element, and we can try to make our environment better. And that doesn't have to always do with money, right? It could do just with actual health. You know, like the real money. It could do with health. You can do with ease of access, easy transportation. Also just beauty. Taurus is an earth element, has a lot to do with beauty. You know, it's like half of Venus. So like half of Venus, which represents beauty, is earth. You know, makeup, things like that. Makeup is literally the earth, right? Soap is literally the earth. So this element has to do with beauty and cleaning, being healthy, right? Just being beautiful, being marvelous, you know, feeling good. Most of the things we do to ourselves to feel good comes from the earth. And the things we build, our houses, our cars, everything comes from the earth, truly. So this is a very important element to, you know, get to know, and to know that you are a part of this element naturally. Everyone is an earth sign, truly. Everyone has an earth element to them, to their personality, to their soul, to their spirit. Everyone's able to feel good and look good, smell good, to build things, plan for the future. Earth element also has a lot to do with expression and personality as well. A lot of astrologers and just spiritual people on the internet don't see it that way. A lot of them also aren't earth signs. They don't understand, like, even our clothes are made from out of the ground. You get what I mean? Cotton, polyester, all these things, all these linens and stuff like that, they're made from the earth, right? How we express ourselves, all the things we put into our hair, right? The metal, right? Piercings, things like that. Ink, people tattoo themselves, you know? All these things, glasses, right? Made from sand, made out of the earth, right? Glass, mirrors, metals, you get what I'm saying? So all these things are just like helpful to us. And in so many ways, I'm just not gonna think of off the top of my head making this video, but the earth is here to help us in any way it really can to be healthy and wealthy. But if you are into astrology, you know, the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. Taurus is represented by Venus, right? So maybe you want to work more with Venus if you're trying to focus on the earth element. Capricorn is represented by Saturn, so you could work with Venus and Saturn. Virgo is represented by Mercury. So these energies can help you become more earthy. You know, you can spend time out of your day working on your health, feeling good, becoming more beautiful. You know what I mean? Taking care of yourself, really. Just take care of yourself, right? That's like the Venus aspect, right? We can be planning for the future. You can make long-term goals, you know, dealing with Saturn. Long-term goals. Think about your kids, your kids' kids. You know, thinking about 10, 20 years from their future. You know what I mean? Sacrifice today, but no, 10 years from now, it could be 100 times investment, things like that. And also dealing with Mercury, just your mind, how you think about things, you know, and that's like, it's kind of funny just dealing with the earth element, right? Because Mercury is like, I'm pretty sure Mercury's like the fastest planet. Saturn is always represented as like father time, you know, it's real slow. So it's kind of that balance of knowing exactly what you want. You know, you can think about that really quick. Okay, I know I want this. But the Saturn is like, okay, I have to spend days, months, weeks, years maybe manifesting that, you know, perfecting that, and actually deserving that. You know, you get what you deserve, actually deserving the things you manifest. Right? Venus just making it look good the whole way. Just making it look good the whole way, feeling good the whole way. You know, even if your manifestations aren't physical yet, you know, you can still feel that in your heart. You can still, you know, feel good about it just in general. If you want to invite more earth element into your house, you know, you can get plants, get more plants in your house. Maybe if you really with this magic stuff, get a wand, you feel me? I'm gonna decorate this. Get a wand, get a staff or something. Incense smells. Really, home decoration in general is an earth element thing. You know, get a nicer bed, right? Nicer carpet, nicer floors, everything, you know, just upgrade your life, you know. Take time to know that you deserve that. You get what I mean? We're not here forever. You know, that's that culmination of really of Earth, Venus, Mercury and Saturn. We're not here forever, but we should plan to live as long as possible. But we should also feel good, But we know we have to sacrifice, right? It's just dealing with life in general, right? Just that part of life. And that part of life, earth signs will think about this more than other signs naturally, right? I try to simplify things, but it's okay to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself, right? To spend more money on yourself, to get nicer things, to feel better, sleep better, smell better, you get what I mean? Have nicer clothes, right? Earth deals a lot with the senses, you get what I mean? It's okay to do that, to do those things. We're not here to suffer all day. We're not here to be miserable all day, We're not here to be stressed out all day. We're here to, love, live, be happy, have smiles on our faces, to laugh as much as possible, you get what I mean? To teach people. So if you're, really, really lacking earth energy, do something nice for yourself, right? Take yourself out, buy yourself some nice things, truly. Also, plant seeds, for the future. You could do that physically, actually planting seeds, start a garden, or you could do it metaphysically, which is just planning your life out, years ahead, doing something that will benefit you in the future, and then do something that will benefit you today. That's that balance. That's that balance from the earth element. I want to do something that will benefit me today, right now. I also want to do something that will benefit me 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. That's really all earth signs think about. And that's a lot of the earth element, Truly, physically, I'm born a Capricorn, so I do have a lot of that earth energy. But for the past, 7 years or something, I've really been more of an air element, fire element. But, we're all signs, truly. It's just, what are you using currently? What spirits are you working with? How's God manifesting himself to you, right? God is everything. God is the earth. So you're really just working with God, but you're working with God manifested as the earth. That particular piece of God, when you think about the true God, right? Earth is really just a small fraction of him, even though it's everything. It's almost everything to us. You get what I mean? It's our home. Know that. Remember that. But peace and blessings, though. Till next time.